Mobile machine is gathering speed. 2,250 metres the journey. Set for a start. Rich Top got away quickly, so too did Henry Aaron. Pleasure and Leisure has dropped back. Now Rich Top is trying to get across from Henry Aaron. Won't succeed in doing so, and Henry Aaron is going to lead, and Rich Top will try and ease and get a sit in behind. Then follows United Force, trapped out 3 deep at the moment. We find Robin Jane. Then in the centre is Tangle's Apollo from Pleasure and Leisure. The commentator is second last, and dropping out last is Social Air. Down the back, and Henry Aaron's piloting the field now by 3 metres to Rich Top. Still out deep we find is Robin Jane. Keeping it deep is Pleasure and Leisure, who's come off the fence and is now travelling 1 deep. And still we find that Robin Jane is out about 3 deep. Tangle's Apollo gets a count up. The commentator's going along leisurely pace, back second last, and Social Air is last as they've completed 1 circuit and come into the straight again, and we find that working hard on the outside, and eventually Robin Jane has got around to race outside this leader Henry Aaron. In on the fence is Rich Top, then follows Pleasure and Leisure. Behind it Tangle's Apollo. United Forces locked away on the fence, second last the commentator, and Social Air is still last. Into the back now, and with 1,200 left to travel, and still we find Henry Aaron leads by about 1 metre. Robin Jane is running second at the moment. Rich Top is third, locked away on the inside of Pleasure and Leisure. Then Tangle's Apollo. The commentator's about to make a move now. United Forces under restraint, locked away at the moment, as the pace will be clapped on shortly, because Tangle's Apollo's hooked out in front of the commentator. In fact, Ingram decides to ease back to second last again. He half went, and Tangle's Apollo has scooted around the field to take on this leader as they race for the bell with 1 circuit left to travel. And we find that the leader still on the inside is Henry Aaron, being tackled by Tangle's Apollo. Pleasure and Leisure's making up some ground from Rich Top. Then follows Social Air. The commentator's back last at this stage. Now United Forces got off the fence, but it's been pulling for the last lap as they begin to pack up a little bit in the last circuit. And Henry Aaron leads by 1 metre. Tangle's Apollo. Pleasure and Leisure now making a run 3 deep. Rich Top's got off the fence. Social Air's got right through to about third spot on the fence. United Forces out deep at the moment, and the commentator's behind it, and Robin Jane is dropping off. Henry Aaron still leads by 1 metre from Tangle's Apollo. Pleasure and Leisure is out 3 deep. Here comes United Force 4 deep at the moment. Rich Top's under pressure, nowhere to go, and Social Air's also got no space, and the commentator's going to be hooked about 4 and 5 deep as they turn for home now. Henry Aaron's in front by a metre or so, coming strongly as Pleasure and Leisure, but Henry Aaron in front, the commentator flying when it's all late. Henry Aaron wins it from the commentator. Third could have been Pleasure and Leisure, then United Force, Social Air, Tangle's Apollo, Rich Top, and last in was Robin Jane. Just waiting for Motor Magic to score up to Michelle on the outside. Mobile picking up speed. Now set to go. Arms fold in, and they're racing. Good dispatch too. We Own a Cavalier began well on the insides. Bottle of Scotch is looking for a cart behind this leader. Darnell's caught out 1 deep at the moment. Behind it is Motor Magic. Triplication in on the fence. Our Consul Dell is about 4th last at the moment. Guitar Man back with it. Simmershell was slow to begin, and dropping out last we find is Star Apollo. And it's going to settle down at the rear of the field, spread out over about 50 metres at the moment, where we find We Own a Cavalier is out in front, leads by a sulky's length, the Bottle of Scotch. Triplication begins to move up on the outside of Darnell. It slipped onto the fence. Guitar Man is racing on the inside of Motor Magic. Behind it we find our Consul Dell travelling on the outside of Simmershell, and back at the rear we find a Star Apollo. They've completed 1 circuit, and the pilot in front we find is We Own a Cavalier. It's out by 3 metres to Triplication, having the hard run on the outside. Bottle of Scotch nicely placed behind the leader. Motor Magic 1 out 1 back. Darnell's on its inside. Then our Consul Dell travelling kindly on the outside of Guitar Man. 4 metres further back to Simmershell. Another 4 metres last we find a Star Apollo. Weona Cavalier out in front, leads by 2 metres to Triplication. Then Bottle of Scotch still travelling nicely in behind this leader. Motor Magic is next on the outside, a metre away to Darnell. 2 metres the outside, our Consul Dell. Nick away the inside is Guitar Man. 4 metres to Simmershell and 4 metres to Star Apollo. No change. In fact, there's been no change for a complete second, where we find Weona Cavalier 2 metres to Triplication. In on the fence, Bottle of Scotch, then Darnell, Motor Magic. Our Consul Dell is on the outside of Guitar Man. They've slipped away 5 metres to Simmershell and 4 metres Star Apollo. Racing for the bell on this occasion, and 800 out. Weona Cavalier still a metre to Triplication, who's working hard on the outside. Well, the pace has been only steady for the last 1.5 laps, where we find Weona Cavalier from Triplication. Bottle of Scotch nowhere to go from Motor Magic. Our Consul Dell's about to be eased out as they go down the back. Darnell's got nowhere to go at this juncture. Into the back now, and we find the leader still as Weona Cavalier, a metre to Triplication, who's now going to test this leader. Our Consul Dell's being asked for the effort. Darnell's getting off the fence in between horses at this juncture. We find Weona Cavalier's almost joined by Triplication, but our Consul Dell is on the outside and coming very quickly indeed. It pushes up within about a metre of the lead on the turn, 200 out. Weona Cavalier being tested by Triplication. Our Consul Dell's on the extreme outside. Then Bottle of Scotch looking for a way out. They turn for home now, and we find that our Consul Dell, Triplication are fighting it out with Weona Cavalier. It's going to be very close indeed. Triplication in the centre. Our Consul Dell close. I think Triplication has beaten our Consul Dell. Third home Weona Cavalier, then Bottle of Scotch, who never really saw daylight. Darnell and Guitar Man were next, followed by Motor Magic. Star Apollo was second last, and last in was Simmershell. Set and racing. And Regal Beagle began reasonably well on the inside, now getting away fairly well on the outside of Son of Trio, now mustering speed along with Miss Wales. They're going to settle down and try and fight out this lead at this juncture, as Miss Wales, being tapped up, is getting to the front and tries to cross over in front of Regal Beagle, does succeed in doing so. This leaves Son of Trio on the outside. Now, maybe Tomorrow's got a nice card up at this juncture and is in a handy position. Sammy Cheatham on the outside. Our Captain Jolly has moved up from Alistair Wave. Snap Away goes into the fence position. Culpra Man is back next to last. And bringing up the rear, we find Bungunya Cell. Well, the leader in front going along is Miss Wales, and it leads by 4 metres from Regal Beagle, who is travelling second. Sulky's length further back to Maybe Tomorrow. Behind it we find is our Captain Jolly. Now Culpra Man may take off from the rear and try and improve its position and go around the field, and we find that still nicely out in place after one circuit is Miss Wales. Now Captain Jolly moves off the fence and is going out after this leader, improving its position. Goes up on the outside of Regal Beagle. Maybe Tomorrow stays in on the fence. Behind it is Snap Away. Then Sammy Cheatham on the outside of Bungunya Cell. Son of Trio just in front of it. Alistair Wave is second last, and bringing up the rear now is Culpra Man, who decided to go back to the rear. Down the back now, and Miss Wales is still showing the pace and leads by about 4 metres. Running second, our Captain Jolly. In on the fence, Regal Beagle. Behind it we find Maybe Tomorrow travelling on the inside of Son of Trio. Then next in the field, Bungunya Cell, who gets through on the inside of Snap Away, who is hooked away from the fence. Culpra Man is behind Bungunya Cell, who immediately leaves the fence also and gets cart behind Son of Trio. Racing for the bell on this occasion, 900 out. And the leader still is Miss Wales by 1 metre to our Captain Jolly, who's running second. Then Regal Beagle next in the field, Son of Trio from Bungunya Cell. Alistair Wave hooked out about 3 deep. Maybe Tomorrow drop back in the field, then Culpra Man, and last is Sammy Cheatham. Into the back now, and the leader, Miss Wales, is being tackled by our Captain Jolly on the outside, and our Captain Jolly goes to a slight advantage on the outside by 1 metre to Miss Wales, being hunted up. Now Son of Trio broke momentarily, and also Regal Beagle went out of its gate. Bungunya Cell gets into third. Now Son of Trio is galloping back through the field, disrupted a few of those runners, and it's left these two leaders well out in front, where we find out Captain Jolly a metre to Miss Wales, who's fighting on then Bungunya Sound, and Regal Beagle battling on in fourth spot at the moment, but halfway down the straight out Captain Jolly is 3 metres clear, and being driven along goes to the line, and our Captain Jolly wins it by 4 metres. Miss Wales, Regal Beagles run third about 25 metres away, fourth Cobra Man, then followed Bungunya Cell, next in Alistair Wave, followed by Snap Away, Son of Trio, then Semi Cheatham, and last in was Maybe Tomorrow. Panorama Paleface is beside it. It was able to get to the front. Now it's galloped this time, and let's have a look. The arms are going to fold in, and Panorama Paleface has missed the kick after leading the first time, and Walkin' Dollar, the one that caused the problem the first time, is going to pilot the field. Well, there's a change of fortune. Pushing up on the outside is Wee Grattan taking this leader on, then Tiaki, who's got a nice sit. Now Panorama Paleface is in behind it. Bromac Boy is one out, one back at this juncture. Highly Promising's got a handy position, and back towards the rear we find Warara Bounty, then Fisherman's Basket, and Ludell is back at the rear. Well, Walkin' Dollar, 2 laps out, shows the way. Wee Grattan is trying very hard on the outside to try and get past it. I think the driver realises now that he can't, and then follows Tiaki, who's sitting in behind the leader. Next in the field is Bromac Boy as they begin to slow up and pack up. And the leader still is Walkin' Dollar by 2 metres to Wee Grattan, 2 metres away Tiaki. On the outside is Bromac Boy. Locked away is Panorama Paleface. Next in the field is Highly Promising, then Warara Bounty. Next in the field, Fisherman's Basket, and Ludell back at the rear. We're going quite slowly at the moment. Where we find the leader is Walkin' Dollar being tackled on the outside by Wee Grattan. The pace quickens slightly. Tiaki's running third about 5 or 6 metres away. Then Bromac Boy, Highly Promising. Panorama Paleface is locked away on the fence. This time they're going to race for the bell and one circuit out, where we find that Wee Grattan is still testing the leader, Walkin' Dollar. There's only about a head between them with one circuit to go. Then follows Tiaki. On its outside is Bromac Boy, then Highly Promising, Panorama Paleface. Next in the field would be Warara Bounty, Fisherman's Basket back at the rear, and last is Ludell. Well, the leader, Walkin' Dollar's beaten off Wee Grattan. It's got the stitch already. Now here comes Highly Promising. It's scooted out 3 deep and trailing at Fisherman's Basket. Now Panorama Paleface is getting through on the inside of the tiring Wee Grattan and behind Tiaki. Walkin' Dollar's in front, but coming at it quickly is Highly Promising. It goes up to it very quickly on the outside with 250 metres left to travel, and Highly Promising gets to the front now. Panorama Paleface is flying home. It's eventually got out and turning for home. Highly Promising leads by about 4 or 5 metres. Panorama Paleface is still flying home, but Highly Promising's got that winning break and is going to just hang on and win by a metre. Panorama Paleface. Third home was Fisherman's Basket, followed by Tiaki, a bit disappointing, then Warara Bounty. Walkin' Dollar got the stitch, then Ludell further back from Wee Grattan, and last in was Bromac Boy. Mr. Speaker and Warara Red Gun, as they're just about set, they're racing. Now Romeo Chapel was slow to begin, so too was Diamond's Idol, Duran Hanover, and King of Orleans got away together. Now Duran Hanover's trying to work across. King of Orleans is trying to keep it out. They've cleared out about 20 metres now over Regimental Bird, who's running third. Happy Turnover gets into a handy position. Best of Hatesbury will be just behind it. Now Romeo Chapel and Diamond's Bird, who are slow away from the front mark, along with Don't Bug Me, are all racing together. Then Warara Red Gun, and last is Mr. Speaker. Well, King of Orleans is going to show the front running and leads by about 2 or 3 metres Duran Hanover. Then about 15 metres away to Regimental Bird. Behind it is Happy Turnover. Now pushing up we find Mr. Speaker, also Best of Hatesbury, and Romeo Chapel drops out with Don't Bug Me. The other two tangled up were a Red Gun, and also in that mishap was Diamond's Idol. In fact, the Red Gun is still down on the track in front of us. And the leader out in front now still we find is King of Orleans. Running second we find pushing up is Mr. Speaker. It's gone right around the outside. Now looks as though the track is cleared. We're over Red Gun on its feet, And the leader still is King of Orleans, leads by about a metre or so. Running second is now Regimental Bird. Then Mr. Speaker, who's up 3 deep. The leader is still King of Orleans with 2 circuits left to travel. Mr. Speaker being driven very hard. Then Duran Hanover getting a nice card up. Happy Turnover's had a nice card also. Romeo Chapel just behind it. Then Best for Hatesbury. And about 10 metres away to Don't Bug Me. Into the back now, and King of Orleans still piloting the field from Duran Hanover. Next is Mr. Speaker, who's worked very, very hard indeed. Getting some respite now, we find, as Regimental Bird, as Bester Hatesbury improves its position along the fence. Happy Turnover lost its position and is now forced out 3 deep. He'll probably have to take off now, although he's going to ease back towards the rear. Romeo Chapel gets through on its inside, and so too does Don't Bug Me. Leader still King of Orleans from Duran Hanover, then Best of Hatesbury. Now Happy Turnover's trapped out about 4 deep. We'll have to go forward as they're racing for the bell on this occasion. And Ed Sparks has a peep over to see where this rear brigade are. And we find that King of Orleans leads from Duran Hanover. Now Best of Hatesbury slips off the fence, goes up on the outside of Duran Hanover. Getting behind Best of Hatesbury, we find as Happy Turnover, then Regimental Bird. Romeo Chapel's third last at the moment. Mr. Speaker's got the stitch now, and Don't Bug Me second last. Into the back now, and with about 500 left to travel, King of Orleans leads by about 3 metres. Duran Hanover, who's under pressure. Best of Hatesbury's also under pressure. Now Romeo Chapel's making up some ground late in the event. Happy Turnover can't go on with it either. Seems round the corner, King of Orleans has got a big break of about 15 metres over Duran Hanover. Then Best of Hatesbury next in the field, Romeo Chapel, but it's under pressure. Then Regimental Bird, but Ed Sparks given them the slip on King of Orleans. It's bolted clear by about 10 or 15 metres. It's halfway down the straight. It's in no danger of defeat, and King of Orleans has won the cup by 20 metres. Romeo Chapel's got second. Best of Hatesbury third, then Duran Hanover, Don't Bug Me, followed by Regimental Bird. Happy Turnover was next in, and last was Mr. Speaker. Now they stand up. Racing, and Amber Wave galloped out on the inside, and so did Wanduna's Moonlight beside it. Now getting away quickly was Glenn Prenier, and goes to the front position from Timber Boy. Amber Wave settled down in third spot. Now Gonna Run has come off the 10-metre mark for Ian McCallum and has moved around into fourth spot already. Lohengrin trying to get a trail behind it. Then Keishia is next, followed by Shipwrecked, Wanduna's Moonlight. And one of the stragglers at this stage is Stacked Deck, and it's lost about 40 or 50 metres. Well, coming out down to past the judge for the first time, and Gonna Run has come right around the field and gone to the front now. Gonna Run leads by 3 metres to Glenn Prenier running second. Then Timber Boy heading the outside division on the outside of Keishia. Then follows Amber Wave racing on the outside of Shipwrecked. A gap further back to Lohengrin. Then second last one, Wanduna's Moonlight. And forget about the other one, Stacked Deck. It's about 50 metres away. Well, Gonna Run is in front and piloting the field by 3 or 4 metres to Timber Boy, who's running second. It on the fence is Glenn Prenier. Then Amber Wave gradually improving its position on the outside of Keishia. Then next in the field on the inside is Shipwrecked. It's outer is Lohengrin, and Wanduna's Moonlight is last of the bunch, with the exception of Stacked Get, who still hasn't caught the field. Into the straight, bell lap sounding, and 1 circuit left to go with Gonna Run. Leads by 1 metre up on the outside. Working hard is Timber Boy. In on the fence is Glenn Prenier, followed by Amber Wave. Being tapped up is Lohengrin to improve its position. Keishia is on the inside. Shipwrecked is second last with Wanduna's Moonlight. And they've caught the field with Stacked Deck. Into the back now. And Gonna Run is still in control by about 2 metres. Timber Boy now hooked out to make a run is Amber Wave, and it's moving up 3 deep at the moment. McCallum sees it coming and gives more rain to Gonna Run. It's shot out about 6 or 7 metres round to the 250 metre mark. We're Gonna Run swept to a big lead now of 10 metres over Amber Wave. It's got the race shot to pieces, turning for home Gonna Run. It's 20 metres in advance of Amber Wave, and then Timber Boy battling on in third spot from Keishia. But it's no race halfway down the straight, where Gonna Run comes down to the line and wins it by 15 metres. Amber Wave has run second. Geesier has run third, then Timber Boy, Shipwreck, next in Lohengrin, followed by Wandana's Moonlight. Glenpreneur was second last, and last in was Stacked Deck. Mac is back behind the machine. Set to go now. Morasco couldn't keep up as the arms fold in, and getting away Scuttlebuck, and also Bronze Chance shows plenty of early speed. Now gets to the front in front of Scuttlebuck, who was unbalanced momentarily. Now Bronze Chance leads by 3 or 4 metres to Scuttlebuck in second spot. Then Aero Brett is trying to ease onto the fence behind Scuttlebuck. In fact, Scuttlebuck has come off the rails and is going to race one deep. Sandhurst Brett is right behind it, then follows Ellie Carr. Next in the field, locked away, is Morasco, and a gap further back to Weeman George, and Travis Mack whips them in. Well, 2 circuits out, and the leader we find is Bronze Chance, going along by 2 metres, running second up on the inside is Aero Brett, the outside is Scuttlebug, then Sandhurst Brett, who's 1 out, 1 back. A metre away the inside is Morasco, then Ellie Carr. On the inside of Ellie Carr we find Weeman George, and last placing still is Travis Mack. Well, they've got 1,300 left to travel, and Bronze Chance is showing the way by 1 metre. Running second still is Scuttlebug, having a hard run. In on the fence still is Aero Brett, next to Sandhurst Brett, followed by Morasco. Ellie Carr is third last at this juncture, second last is Weeman George, and still whipping them in is Travis Mack. Into the straight, 1 circuit to go, and the bell sounds with the leader Bronze Chance, a metre to Scuttlebug, who's worked hard throughout. Then Aero Brett's in on the fence behind the leader. Sandhurst Brett is given a crack with a whip. Now Ellie Carr is poised to come out and move 3 deep as they go into the back now, with under 600 left to travel, where Bronze Chance leads from Scuttlebuck running second. Now making a move, Sandhurst Brett, then Ellie Carr as they begin to pack up. Morasco's also getting off the fence. It's pretty compact up near the leading division, where Bronze Chance leads a metre. Now coming at it hard is Sandhurst Brett, and look at Ellie Carr. It's sprinting 3 and 4 deep. It's come from about third last and whipped around them, and immediately got a break of 4 or 5 metres over Bronze Chance. Morasco running on solidly in about third spot as they turn for home now, but Ellie Carr sprinted too quickly for them and has got out a nice break and is all over a winner halfway down the straight, and Ellie Carr's going to come down to the line and wins it by 15 metres or 10 metres. Bronze Chance second, third home Morasco, followed by Sandhurst Brett, then Aero Brett, followed by Weeman George, Travis Mack, and last in was Scuttlebuck. Racing here at Robinvale, and Summer Air was slow to begin, so too was Bantam Lass. Now Luvik's way reasonably well from the back mark, but Happy View has gone straight to the front now and leads from Ronzel Ken, who's running second. A gap of 20 metres away to Star of Ours. Then Luvik, who's racing very roughly at the moment, gone right out of its gear. Now almost back into it. In front of it we find is Ironclad, and one tailed off is Delcara Way, and Summer Air is not going to participate at all. 2 circuits out, and Happy View showing the way by about 4 or 5 metres. Running second is Ronzel Ken, then Star of Ours, their Indian file at the moment. Ironclad's running about 4th at the moment, then behind it is Luvik. A long gap in the field, Delcara Way, then Jamaru Park. It's 50 metres away and another 40 metres away to Summer Air, who's absolute at this point. Indian file over the back, where Happy View leads by about 3 metres. Ronzel Ken's running second. Star of Ours third. Behind it is Bantam Lass fourth, and behind Bantam Lass about 6 metres away to Ironclad. Similar distance back to Luvik, and catching the fill is Delcara Way. The others are completely out of the event, long way back. Into the straight now, and they'll come up and race for the bell on this occasion, where Happy View leads, but only just. Ronzel Ken's tackling it on the outside and moves up. There's only about a neck between this pair. Then being tapped up is Star of Ours in third spot. Behind it is Ironclad. In on the fence is Bantam Lass, then Luvik and Delcara Way. Forget about Jamaru Park. Down the back now, And with 5.50 left to travel, and Happy View leads by about a head clear. Testing it on the outside is Ronzel Kin, the local horse. They're almost matching strides. Star of Ours has now given a crack with a whip and coming at them 3 deep at the moment as they go to the 300-metre mark, where we find that Happy View, shaken up on the inside, is just in front of Ronzel Kin. Star of Ours out 3 deep at the moment, is under extreme pressure. Happy View still in front, a metre to Ronzel Kin as they turn for home. Star of Ours can't go on with it, then further back to Lubick. Happy View in front as they turn for home halfway down the straight, and Happy View still in front, leads a couple of metres, and Happy View goes to the line, beats Ronzel Kin by 2 metres. Third, Lubick. Fourth in the race was Star of Ours. Next home, Ironclad, followed by Bantam Lass, then Delcara Way. 40 metres away to Jamaroo Park, and the other one was pulled up in the event, which was Summer Air. Valentine Day backs away. Top Scotch is standing back on that front line. Now they're going to race, and Top Scotch almost came down, and getting away brilliantly is Ronzel Rooster. It's come off the 10-metre strand and has gone right through the field and has hit the front straight away. It leads by 4 or 5 metres to Right and Miss, then Billy Jingles. Winsome Wonders fourth. A gap to Petite Matron. Top Scotch on its outside. About 20 metres away we find is Valentine Day. It's in last placing. They come down and they'll have 2 circuits to go, and the leader Ronzel Rooster is out by 4 or 5 metres and going along nicely. A second placing Right and Miss, then third is Billy Jingles. Now Petite Matron now pulls out and heading the outside division. Top Scotch is going to get the cart behind it as Petite Matron goes up on the outside of Winsome Wonder, and dropping back last we find is Valentine Day. Pace quite steady as they've completed 1 circuit now, and down the back Ronzel Rooster leads by 4 metres. Right and Miss. Billy Jingles is still third. Then pushing around Winsome Wonder is Petite Matron, about 10 metres away to Top Scotch, and 10 metres last is Valentine Day. They've got 1100 left to travel, and Ronzel Rooster going along by 6 metres in advance of Right and Miss, who's running second. Billy Jingles is third. Then on the outside and heading the outside division, we find as Petite Matron, Winsome Wonder in on the fence, then Top Scotch, and Valentine Day is last. Going to get the bell on this occasion. 1 circuit to go, and Ronzel Rooster by 4 or 5 metres clear. Running second, Right and Miss. Now Top Scotch is hooked out 3 deep to try and go past Petite Matron. Into the back now, and Ronzel Rooster leads by 3 metres. Right and Miss, then Billy Jingles. Winsome Wonders now asks for the effort and now moves up into third spot, goes past Billy Jingles, and further back in the field is Top Scotch, but this leader Ronzel Rooster has still got a break of about 10 metres. Running into second spot is Winsome Wonder on the outside of Right and Miss, but this leader's got a big break around the bend, 250 out, and Ronzel Rooster leads by a good 20 metres over Winsome Wonder. It's in no danger of defeat, this leader, and Ronzel Rooster heads for home on its local track by 25 metres in advance of the other field. Given a crack with the whip, but it's coming away to score nicely, Ronzel Rooster, and it's won it by at least 25 metres. Right and Misses runs second, Winsome Wonder third, then Billy Jingles. Next was Top Scotch. A gap further back in the field of 20 metres away to Petite Matron, and last in was Valentine Day.